friends, it's Miss G. As you can see, we're starting a new book today. It's called Now and Then. So looking at the cover, okay, what do you think this story will be about? I'm sure you're giving me great answers at home. I want you to remember them as we go through the story. Just keep in mind, every time we introduce a new book, we are trying to notice things, and then at the end we wonder, so that we can understand the story way better, okay, and much more. So I found the YouTube version, so we're going to go ahead and look at that now. Okay, friends?
Modern Inventions of Benjamin Franklin by Jean Beretta. Now and then, we think about Ben, Dr. Benjamin Franklin to be precise, and we think about his many inventions. Inventions he originated more than 200 years ago. It was as if Ben could see into the future. Almost everything he created is still around today. For instance, now, our newspapers are filled with illustrations. Ben was the first to print a political cartoon in America. The cartoon encouraged the American colonies to join together or die like the disconnected snake. Now, bifocals are very common. Bifocals combine two sets of lenses into one pair of glasses. The bottom lens helps see near, and the top lens helps see far. Ben originally designed bifocals for himself after he grew tired of switching between two pairs of glasses. Now, our world relies on electricity. In the 18th century, many people still believed that lightning was an act of anger and punishment from God. Ben was one of the scientists who discovered the true nature of electricity and how to use it. He learned that lightning is electricity when he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. Now, many buildings and homes use lightning rods to protect against lightning strikes. Ben invented the lightning rod and was the first to use it. The pointed iron rod acts like a magnet and grabs an approaching lightning bolt from the sky before it can strike the rooftop. The electricity then travels safely down a long wire into the ground. It prevents fires and keeps dangerous amounts of electricity away from the house. Now, this gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's the long stick that helps grab items from out-of-reach places. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a very long arm. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. Ben invented things even when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and feet. Now, ships travel across the Gulf Stream to take advantage of the faster current. Ben measured, charted, and publicized the Gulf Stream during his 8 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, we understand and accept the benefits of vitamin C. Ben was an early promoter of eating citrus fruits to help prevent a disease called scurvy. for a musical interlude. Ben invented the glass armonica. He was able to create music by simply touching his wet fingers to a row of spinning glass bowls. Mozart and Beethoven were so moved by the sounds that they composed for the instrument. Today, glass harmonicas are very rare. You are more likely to find one in a museum than in a music store. Now, our fireplaces are very efficient and easy to use. Ben improved on the primitive fireplaces of his day when he designed the Pennsylvania fireplace, later renamed the Franklin stove. He built it with iron to contain the heat from a fire long after the logs were burned. It also sat away from the wall to heat the room more evenly. The smoke ventilation was not perfect, but later inventors improved it. Before Ben's fireplace, indoor smoke could be suffocating. Now, chairs come in all shapes and sizes. Ben designed 2 chairs that are still very useful. The writing chair combined a desk and chair into one. The library chair was a combination chair and stepladder. Now, everyone has seen a rocking chair, but not many have seen Dr. Franklin's rocking chairs. Ben invented one rocking chair with a fan on top and one that churned butter. Now, every year we observe daylight saving time, which means we set our clocks ahead 1 hour in the springtime. As a result, it stays darker longer in the morning when most people are sleeping and stays light longer at the end of the day, so we can save more energy. In the fall, we return the clocks to standard time. Ben suggested this idea in one of his essays as a way to save money by burning fewer candles. Farmers could also gain more work time in the evening. Daylight saving time was not officially practiced until World War I, more than 100 years later. As for clocks, Ben designed the first clock with a second hand. Now, every automobile has an odometer to measure the distance it travels. Ben invented the odometer when he was Postmaster General, so he could measure his postal routes. Now, almost every large community includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize the first of each. Now and then, we owe thanks to Ben for his important inventions. But many would agree that his greatest accomplishments came in the form of documents. Documents that helped shape the world. Ben had a pivotal role in developing America's Constitution, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Treaty of Peace with England, and the Declaration of Independence. It's remarkable that one man could achieve so much in a lifetime. He has certainly helped to form the modern world. Will his contributions help to form the future?
Alrighty, friends, so that's the end of our story. And I want you to start thinking about, what did you notice about the order of now and Ben? Just look at how they have it. Now, Ben. Now, Ben. Do you notice something? Well, it's a pattern, right? Because it keeps repeating. Now, Ben. Now, Ben. Go to any other part. Now, Ben, right? It's a pattern. Now, why do we have that pattern? Well, let's think about this. Is there any other thing we've read, any other text, that kind of sounds similar to then and now? Then and now. Ding, ding, ding. Our textbooks of transportation then and now, right? So all our textbooks of transportation then and now, communication then and now, is just like then and now. So why would they have that? Why would you have that there? Well, when we say then in this text, what do we mean? Every time we said then, it meant something from the past, right? So maybe then and now means then from the past and now how we use his inventions, right? So I hope you guys noticed some different things in our story. Now what I'd like to do is go through our wonders. So Miss G, like she's done before, has made a class so we can go through our wonders. I hope at home you're thinking of wonders as well. So first we have what? That's going to be our first. I know there's a whole bunch of arrows, friends, but we're looking at the one that spins. So that one says what? What are bifocals? Good question. Benjamin Franklin invented bifocals, but we can get into more what they are. Ooh, we have when. Who's up with a when question? I hope at home you're thinking of a when question. When did Benjamin Franklin live? Great question. Was that in our story, friends? Did they mention at any point when he was born? I don't know. I don't think so. So Miss G found out that he was born January 17th, 1706. That was the year. 1706. That was 314 years ago. He lived a long time ago, friends, but we still use his inventions today. Then we have where. So at home, think of a where question. And my class here, can we think of a where question? Where did Benjamin Franklin live? Another great question. So Ms. G actually has the map, but before we get to that, let's finish up our questions. Did it say in our story where he lived? I don't think so. So let's get into our questions. What? That's our last question. Again, we had two whats. What does an harmonica sound like? Good question. Well, in that story, that YouTube video, they kind of play the harmonica for us. But for now, so I still have to answer, where did Benjamin Franklin live? So Benjamin Franklin lived in Boston, Massachusetts. So I have this here just for you guys to see. It's not so far from us, but it's pretty far. So we live in New York, and this is Boston. This is where he lived, and this is where he was born, in Boston, okay? Another question was, what are bifocals? And Miss G found a little video. Ooh, not that one. Here we go. A little video talking about it. It did explain in our story, but Miss G is going to play it a different way so we can remember.
History heroes!
In 1784, after Franklin had trouble seeing both close up and far away, he decided to do something about it. He invented the bifocals. The top portion of the lens is used for distance, while the bottom portion of the lens is used for closer vision. Pretty cool, huh? Then...
So that's explaining bifocals. They're glasses that can see both far and near. They can do both things, which is really cool. That's because Benjamin Franklin, like they said, has a problem with his eyesight. He needed that. So what else do we have? We have what are bifocals? That's done. Where did Benjamin Franklin live? That was Boston. When did Benjamin Franklin live? That was 314 years ago. And what does an harmonica sound like? So an harmonica is actually this. There aren't many people who play it anymore since it is more of like an invention than a musical instrument. But here's this young man playing the harmonica. You wet your fingers on the bowl, it spins around, and you play it.
It's called the armonica, which is derived from the Italian word for harmony, and you can play 10 bowls at once.
So, as you see, there's a whole lot of bowls here. He's playing it, and it has a different, distinct kind of sound, okay? Before we end it, let's get into our shout-outs for today. Our first shout-out is Diane. Diane wrote, "The little house saw her neighborhood change. There were cars on the street. There were more roads. That is how her neighborhood changed." Awesome job, Diane. You completely did the whole topic sandwich. I can see your topic sentence. I can see your conclusion. You have your information. You even have 3 labels: sun, house, car. I see your name and date. Cha-ching! All checks. All the checks, Diane. Great job. Next up, we have Skyla. Skyla wrote, "Changes the little house saw. There were skyscrapers and trolley bus. There were more people." Great job. I love the details of the trolley bus. I like how you wrote it and pointed to it. That's awesome. Look at all the different people. I love the details of her drawing, friends. Look at that. Look at the apartment. Look at the different skyscrapers. And she wrote sky. So she has her 3 labels. Good job. Next time, Skyla, let's make sure we have our topic sentence and our topic, our conclusion, you know, in our topic sandwich, so that we know it all works together, okay? Right now, it sounds like 3 different sentences, but with the topic and conclusion, they come together as one. I love the way you worked this out, Skyla. Great job. Last but not least is Conscious. And Conscious wrote something different. He did the project as well, but I also asked you guys to come up with a wonder, right? Remember that? So he wrote, "Why did we stop using," he didn't write using, he said, "Why did we stop the Pony Express?" Great question, Conscious. We stopped the Pony Express because we became more efficient. That means faster and easier. So it's hard to deliver mail through a pony, right? Trying to ride a pony, it will take a long time. So we figured out ways with cars and trains and trucks to make it much faster, okay? Alrighty, friends, that's it for today. We'll keep examining our book. Then, you know, at the end, we'll write some sort of paper. You guys are doing such a great job. I'm so proud of you. It was nice seeing you yesterday, or 2 days ago. Have a great day. Love you guys.